So this was yesterday with my DJI Neo. I decided, because it was such a lovely day, I would go over to the Licky Hills and record, but then this happened. You can see it suddenly starts pitching to the right and then backwards, and it starts flopping and flipping all over the place, and it was quite alarming because the motors were making all kinds of crazy noises at this point. It was and the drone was up in the sky just absolutely going mad, going all over the place. All I was doing at the time was just pressing up on the left stick to ascend and go straight upwards, and all of that stuff started happening, and I couldn't do anything about it for about 20 seconds. And at this point here, I've got control again. The GPS took quite a long time to acquire a fix for the home point before flying off, and that's been happening more and more recently on this particular unit, which this unit was a replacement that DJI sent after I got my last one crashed into by a car on a previous video. And the GPS on this one doesn't seem right. It can take 5 or 10 minutes to acquire a fix for the home point before flying off every time. So after all of that happened, I was a little bit shocked. I decided then to start recording the screen so I could see what was happening on the DJI Fly app. With this, I'm just using my Pixel 8a plugged into the RCN3 controller. I took the Neo 2 batteries and the my phone and the RCN3 with me in a bag, plugged them in, and flew off using that. I much prefer using the RCN3 because with the phone you don't get very much distance at all. With the controller you can get up to a kilometre away with good line of sight before you start seeing some drop off. And I wanted to get some good footage of Birmingham from Beacon Hill on the Licky Hills, and as you can see, the sky is really clear on top of an open hill. It should have absolutely perfect GPS, but you can see at the start of this video that it's around about 10-12 satellites. So even though it's got a fix, it's not particularly great. But then as the drone starts turning round, it acquires more satellites, and I don't know if that's just because of the direction or because it had been flying longer and starts to acquire more. But it doesn't seem right, and this is the second time it's happened where the drone just starts going crazy. This time, as you can see, I've overlaid the GPS data. The Neo records a .srt file along with the MP4 video, which contains GPS data that you can extract using this GoPro telemetry extractor, or telemetry overlay, actually this software is called, which isn't cheap, but it's really good. And you can post-process the video using it to overlay all of this data and more. I haven't used every gauge that is available for this data, but you can see right at the start the GPS track, it goes in a circle and goes all over the place. And also when it first started, the G meters were quite violently going side to side and up and down, and the altitude as well. So the drone actually knew where it was. It knew that the GPS was going all over the place, but it still violently started skating around in the sky. So that's confused me a little bit, because if it was picking up some bad GPS data, then it wouldn't know exactly where it was, and it would be trying to correct to keep itself in place. That's how it seems to me anyway. But as you can see, it takes fantastic footage for such a small drone, and with an RC N3 controller you can get some really great high stable footage, and the drone performs amazing for the price. But this particular one I think is possibly faulty, so I might have to get DJI to replace it. So as you can see by the GPS path, everything after the start is smooth and perfect. There was hardly any wind. It was just right at the start, and we just come into land here nice and smooth as usual. And that's it. So hopefully we can get this this problem resolved soon.